Richard Bruce here, and I wanted to tell everybody who might see my movies that I understand your skepticism, and if you feel that these movies are not real, maybe I faked it, and wanted to let you know that I share your skepticism. I looked at this when I first saw these reptilian shape-shifting movies, the slit eyes, the strange blurry spots and so forth, and I didn't really believe it, and it took me a while of looking at these movies and really realizing that there was just so many, and that there's just these strange slit eyes that show up in people, that there's something to this. And so I checked it out, and basically I began to believe it. But what happened was, one night I was watching the news, and sure enough I saw these reptilian slit eyes, and so that's when I began to believe that this might be real, that you actually have these, whatever it is, shape-shifting reptilians possessed by a reptilian spirit, whatever it is, but their pupils are these slits. They're not round. I took out a little video camera like this, and I just pointed it right at my TV and brought it into my video editor, and sure enough, I mean, I couldn't explain why you have these big vertical slit eyes going on. And then I saw Frequency Fence, and Frequency Fence is a channel on YouTube, and she did some really great scientific analysis of this whole reptilian thing, and she has some amazing footage. But one of them was something that I was familiar with, which was the movie The Matrix with Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne. And so I realized that this was something I could check out, so I just ran over to Fry's and got the Blu-ray and checked it out, and sure enough, you slow it down frame by frame and you see things that just don't make sense, because there's claws coming out of people's hands, and really strange stuff. And so I know that there's no clawed beasts in the Matrix script. And so I began to realize that these people like David Icke and Alex Jones or whoever, and who are saying that there are reptilians, they're right. There's something going on that we don't understand, and I believe that it's the serpents from the Garden of Eden. As being a believer in the Bible, that's what I happen to think, and I also believe that there are aliens and extraterrestrials that are not associated with hell or fallen angels, and that the entire universe can't be empty of life except for us. It just doesn't make sense to me, just because the Bible and God's Word doesn't specifically say aliens from outer space. Okay, I think he might hint at it when he says, of all the beasts of the field that he made, the serpents were the most subtle, but the field might be the universe, the planets and stars. I mean, we know for a fact that there are billions of planets out there. What? They're all empty except for us and remnants of the fallen angels? Just that makes less sense to me. Could be, but that makes less sense. But I just want you to know that I did not add After Effects or any sort of embellishment of the footage that would create the effects that I show. For instance, the lumps in the flesh, the teeth that seem to grow into fangs, these slit eyes, and the claws. And I think that the hands and the claws are the most telling thing. Now, a lot of you people that are new to this, you may not realize what's going on, so I'll try to explain it the best I can. What I've found is that these reptilian shapeshifters show up in a far shot, so when there's a distance between the camera and the subject, you can notice the effect coming out, and whether it's that they didn't notice it in the editing or whatever, I don't know. But I also don't believe that it's on purpose. This is definitely not on purpose that they're showing you this thing, and it doesn't make sense to say that these are demons trying to deceive us, that they're aliens, because if they were trying to deceive us, they wouldn't show up as a reptilian being. That doesn't make sense to me. And furthermore, I know firsthand that from the very first reptilian shapeshifting movie that I made, my house was buzzed by choppers, believe it or not, and it continues to this day. And I even had police show up at my door, if you can swallow that. But I have zero priors, and I've never had police come to my door when I didn't call them. And so from all the choppers and stuff that fly over my head, including airplanes and stuff, and you know, and this is not just paranoia like from there's more activity going on somehow. I just thought that they were doing. No, if you were in my shoes, you would know that this is there was a definite reaction. I mean, this pissed off somebody, and I'm on their watch list. I mean, I know that now. I mean, I can tell. It's just totally obvious. I mean, the choppers, the police that showed up at my door. And by the way, the police showed up just because they said that they were looking for the previous tenant, and it was total BS. I mean, I knew what they were there for. They were there because of the Reptilian shape-shifting movies that I was making on YouTube, okay? So, and also I would say to all you people in the alternative movement, UFO research or whatever, people who are trying to change the world for the better, okay? And there's, you begin to sense that there's some sort of deep evil behind everything, who killed the electric car, who's putting the fluoride in their water, all this stuff, okay? And then, if you hear what David Icke has to say, you really listen to what he has to say, and, if you want to call him a reptilian, fine. I'm just going by what I think is genuine things that he's told us. It's the reptilians, it's the serpents. They're the main culprit behind the whole thing. The Illuminati and the higher-ups of the Illuminati, apparently, from the story and the witnesses or whatever, is that they are a hybrid of reptilian and human, and this is why you get these slit eyes, because their DNA that's reptilian starts to shift a little bit, and so it's not on purpose that they're doing this. But what's happening is that because they have reptilian DNA, the form of their body, the actual physical form, I do not believe that it is a hologram. What happens is the flesh actually begins to conform to the spirit body, whatever material that your spirit is made out of, and or the truth of the DNA, or the spirit body affects the DNA, and that's why you get these strange lumps in the flesh and things growing and stuff, because if they, according to Arizona Wilder, the shape-shifting reptilians, they have to work to maintain their human form. Otherwise, their true reptilian self will come out. And it's just, it's totally amazing. It's mind-blowing that this can be going on. But, watch the David Icke Revelations of the Mother Goddess with Arizona Wilder if you want to hear the craziest interview on YouTube. That is positively the craziest thing that you'll see on YouTube. But in it is some valuable information that, I mean, it's so crazy that it takes you a while. It takes any sane person, even very educated, to just absorb it all and realize what's happening. That this is really going on. That you have these people that, including the Queen, the current Queen of Britain, and all the higher ups, Hillary Clinton, and all these various people are actually reptilians, and they show up at these ceremonies where they actually drink and human blood and eat human flesh, and they do this to maintain their human form, and they have to wear these robes instead of their regular clothes because they're going to shapeshift, and then they're going to feast on human flesh, and that's what these sacrifices and these satanic rituals are really about. They're about these reptilian beings eating the human flesh and drinking the human blood, because that's what they eat. That's the whole rumor behind the vampires thing. If you're wondering, was there something true about the vampires? It's the reptilians. They have to feed off of human flesh and blood, and they prefer children, and they do this to apparently maintain their sanity and maintain their human form. But they are, I believe, the true rulers of our human society for some thousands of years, and have been behind the scenes doing all this stuff, and they have all this crazy stuff that you can't believe. But anyway, the main thing I wanted to tell you is that I did not fake any of the footage, and that the most exciting paranormal thing out there that amazingly, notice how you don't see it on the History Channel. Do you see it on any sort of special that's published on TV? You don't see it in the news. No, you're never going to see it in the news. But, because they're all controlled. They're all controlled by these Illuminati hybrid reptilian beings. They don't want you to see this. I know firsthand. They don't want you to see this. But if you are angry about, you know, how they killed the electric car, if you're angry about the fluoride in our water and the chloramine in our water that poisons us every friggin' time you take a shower, and you don't want your kids poisoned, and you're so sick of the fact that you have to buy these special filters, and God knows if they work, and you know, who knows what else it's causing, autism, all that stuff. If you're angry about that stuff and you want to do something to change our world, you better begin to prepare yourself to close the belief gap, okay? Like I had to do, and I still have trouble doing. I mean, I'm a doubting Thomas. I gotta see it with my own eyes. But I have seen it with my own eyes. I mean, I am more sure about this than even some of the other paranormal things that I believe, because I have shot the footage myself, and I know that I didn't fake or add anything to it, and I know that it's not a human being that you're looking at. It's something else. I mean, unless you wake up and you see claws or something in the morning, or slit eyes, it's not a human being like you and I. So just wanted to tell you that, and that you know, again, you know, did not fake any of the footage. What you're seeing is real. When you see lumps, they're real. When you see fangs, they're real. When you see slit eyes, I didn't add it with Photoshop or After Effects. No BS. Okay, this is the real thing, and it is the most interesting proof of non-human beings, and the paranormal, in my opinion, is the most interesting thing that I've come across. Whether it's UFO footage, Bigfoot, you know, abduction stories, whatever. This footage is the most accessible because it's in movies. I mean, you can buy a copy of The Matrix. There it is. Buy a copy of They Live. You know, I just discovered that the Rowdy Rod Piper, I mean, he's a reptilian. You slow down the footage, you can see what you see, these blurry effects on his hand, and they turn into like these crab claws. And that whole movie is actually got a bunch of reptilians in it. This one woman serving a plate, she's got these claws. And you can see it's not a human being. You know, their hands wouldn't look like that just because of motion. So I just wanted to say that, and that you know, this is genuine, and you know, no BS. And you know, like I said, this is really low tech. All I did was just take this camera and shoot it at my television. And probably some of you out there who might start to realize this, you know, and this is the most exciting, interesting paranormal footage thing that you can be working on, might come up with some better technology, you know, and video recording and so forth, and get more sophisticated and really break this down. You got to slow it down. If you make reptilian movies, you got to show those effects. You got to show that something paranormal is going on. It can't be where the footage is so bad that you really can't be sure whether it's just a video error, or whether it's just a little blurry spot, or whether it's a codec thing. I mean, you got to show the effect. Slow it down, reverse it, zoom in, take still shots, add a little bit of contrast and brightness so maybe you can see it better.
Getting another life reading, Captain. Survivors? Not survivors. Not warm-blooded. Living creatures, but not human.
It's the Orion Group. It's a group that is on its way here now from Alpha Draconis. They're the real culprits behind this whole deal.